Good morning. Welcome to my talk, Flourish and Flow. This is Rona Puntawe, your host. I know I haven't been doing my daily talks, but at least I thought I'm going to do it at least once a week and when I have some exciting stuff to share. But maybe in November, December, I'll go back to more regular talks. But for now, again, I want to share something that I'm really excited about. Yesterday, I had my second Rolfing session, ROLF. And as like the first time, I really loved it, tremendously loved it, and I highly recommend. So check it out. It's something that was started by Dr. Ida Rolf, ROLF. And there are not many Rolf practitioners out there. And I learned about Rolf from one of my teachers, Ania. I talked about Rolf in my video a couple of weeks ago or so. So check that out. But I learned one new thing, which is pretty important. It's called interoception. So my Rolfer and I were talking about, is it like different people have different qualities of sensation in their body? Like how they're able to be aware and also articulate what's going on in their body. And it's very interesting because he demonstrated it this way. So proprioception, which is a term I'm familiar with, your sensation of up, down, around, and so on and so forth. Like you've got your elbow like this, and somebody comes in and said, okay, I'm aware my elbow is upright right now. That's proprioception. And nociception is awareness of pain. And like, for example, oh, my arms are sore, my arm is sore right now, and for holding up my elbow this way for a long time, and my joints are starting to get painful. That's awareness of pain. And guess what? Not many people are necessarily very aware of pain. In fact, he told me about one of his friends when he was in Boulder, Colorado, and during winter or whatever, they were in snow. And this guy, his friend, was just wearing a singlet and shorts, and he would walk barefoot on ice. And I thought, wouldn't he get frostbite? Well, apparently no. His body adapts to it, and he doesn't feel the cold like we do. He doesn't feel the pain of feet or soles of his feet on snow. And he said, well, the bad thing is that he has these black marks on his fingers. So why is that? Well, because he smokes cigarettes. And he doesn't notice when he's already burning his fingers, right? So he gets these black marks. He would only notice it when he smells skin burning. That's horrible, right? But that just goes to show that we are all different. Our bodies are all different. Some have high tolerance for pain. Some have low tolerance for pain. But that's not new to us. Some of us know that. It's just those extreme situations we're probably not aware of. But the more interesting part is the third thing, which is he called interoception. So back to the elbow, proprioception we talked about, nociception we talked about. Interoception is the quality of the sensation. So for example, elbow is up, I feel like it's rickety when I move it and when I extend it. I feel this tingly sensation. It's as though I have needles in my arms and it doesn't feel fluid. It used to be fluid like water when I rotate my arms and my elbows, something like that. It's almost poetic, right? And using all those metaphorical allusion to how you sense your body. So that's richness, that breadth and depth of awareness about our body, that's interoception. And so I asked my Rolfer, I said, is that something we can learn? I mean, of course, every person is different, but what about if I want to have a richer experience of those sensations, what's happening in my body? Is that something I can learn? And also, the other point is that how do we know? Like, how do we know if someone has a rich experience of their body? right? As opposed to someone just having a dull experience of their body. Because I told him, well, knowing neurolinguistic programming, I said, some people can be very precise in their language and some people are not. I said, I can have all these rich sensations in my body and I can feel what's going on with so much nuance, say in my elbow, but all I can say is, well, it feels rough right now compared to it felt smoother yesterday when I rotate my arms. But very limited language of describing what's really going on. And he said, well, that's common. In fact, athletes that I've worked with have sometimes difficulty articulating and communicating what's going on in their body, what's going on in their, senses. And he said, if you think of Ian Thorpe, who's a gold medalist, Olympic medalist in swimming, right? We know him. He can't articulate specifically what's going on in his body, the sensations when he goes out there and swims. And he said it's like having robots inside his body that propels him to swim faster. But that's quite interesting. We use metaphors, right, to describe what's going on in our body. But my curiosity is more of, can I learn that? Can I learn and train my body to have richer sensations and to enhance my interoception? And I call that body intelligence, and be able to not only have richer sensations, but also to be able to be mindful, aware, and articulate it. And he said, yes, of course, I've got intelligent fingers. So that's why that's the title of my talk today, Intelligent Fingers. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, well, 30 years ago, my fingers are not intelligent. So what he meant was like when he touches me and looks at, adjustments he had to make, and especially like when he adjusted the alignment of my wrists, actually, it's like, well, that isn't that bad, but it created a cracking sound when he adjusted it, but there's no pain. He just knew from the touch that there was some misalignment, and he adjusted it to create the alignment. And he said, 30 years ago when he was training and his teacher saw what he was doing, and the teacher said, well, show me that. Show me what you're doing. And he said, well, okay, show me your wrists. And he tried to sense what's going on with the teacher's wrist. And I said, well, I can't adjust it. There's nothing to adjust. And then they went around the room, and there were around 30 people that they did that wrist adjustment to. And by the end of that 30 rounds, the teacher knew exactly, well, not exactly, but he knew what was going on, and he was able to do it himself as well. And that meant that he was able to model intelligent fingers, right? So, and I thought, well, it's the same for dancers and people who are into movement, like myself when I teach Nia. There's a lot more that I'm learning about how my body moves and everything. At the end of the day, why is this important? Why do we need body intelligence? It's because it's very much related to our emotional intelligence and our emotional states and well-being. Plus, as we grow older, I don't know about you, but happens to me, it seems that we have more aches and pains in our body, and that's why I ended up going to the Rolf because I started having sore back. And I realized it's how we move our body and being aware of our body and our body's intelligence. Our body is also the means in which our intuition communicates to us. And so by being intelligent with our body, by having more awareness of our body and being able to model that with our language, we can actually grow older more elegantly and find more pleasure in the way we move with our body, have a better relationship with our body. I mean, wouldn't you like that when you grow older, you're actually still very much vital, sensual, even probably sexy when you grow older? Well, I want to be like that when I'm 80 years old, that I'm still youthful, vibrant, and sensual and sexy 80-year-old. But that means really paying attention to the body and the intelligence of the body. Our body is intelligent. And I think we just, growing up, nobody taught us how to use our body, pay attention to our body, and train our body to be more intelligent. In fact, all these issues about mental well-being that we struggle with, especially with COVID-19, has got to do also with lack of body intelligence or body awareness. Sometimes all you have to do is move, allow your body to move, allow your emotions to move through your body. And in my role first said, where do you think the emotions go? They get stuck into your body. So anyway, I can talk more about this, but this just fascinates me, and it's something I would love to explore more about body intelligence. I call it somatic intelligence, and how that relates to having a rich, wonderful, vibrant life. Our health, our body affects everything. Our body is our most precious wealth. We only have one body, and it determines the quality of our lives, how good we are to our body, and how much we listen to it, and how lovingly we use our body and nurture a relationship with our body. So there you go. Plug. Join my Nia class on Sundays. Nia is all about the philosophy of the body, about the body's way, and also discovering your body's way. We're all different. We all have different bodies. There's no one way to have a movement or exercise that fits everybody. You have your own body's way. So join me. I have my Sundays, Nia, at 9 a.m. Check out the banner. And see you again next time. Check Rolf, ROLF, and Google Interoception. Cheers.